Hey, what's going on, guys? It's your boy, NerdModon, and I'll be doing a gameplay commentary over some Battlefield 4. In this particular installation, we'll be using a little bit of the attack helicopter at the beginning on Siege of Shanghai, and then of course we will transition into Operation Locker using the F2000. So when it comes down to it, I'm going to be playing with Daze today, and we've been actually having a lot of fun playing the last couple of weeks. You know, overall I've been kind of relaxing when it comes down to what I've been doing in real life, so not really a whole lot of busyness going on there, so I found myself having a lot of time to really indulge myself into the Battlefield series, as well as try some other things out here nor there, and overall just have a pretty good time. Now, of course, for me and Daze, it's only really us versus, it seems like, 32 other players. You usually don't have a whole lot of communication going in squads, because it's not very consistent with at least random players. However, we do have some guys that tend to dip in there every once in a while that have a microphone and seem to add something to the experience, but by and large, it's usually just pretty much us and a TeamSpeak server and just kind of talking with each other and really enjoying what is going on. But of course, you know, when it comes down to Siege of Shanghai, I really enjoy using the attack helicopter. I found it to be a very effective vehicle. Unfortunately, there's just so much in Battlefield 4 that has the ability to shoot you down, and it seems like the vehicles are kind of paper airplanes when it comes down to it. But by and large, I still think the attack helicopter is probably one of my favorite vehicles to use. However, in Battlefield 3, I really enjoyed using the Abrams tank on Grand Bazaar. Granted, I didn't come up against a whole lot of opposition considering that I was playing Rush with my good friends on console back in the day, but of course, it was definitely a lot of fun to be able to use the canister shell when that used to be overpowered in some senses, and then of course when that got kind of terminated, you'd kind of switch up your setup, and then from that point, it was pretty easy to go on some pretty good kill streaks. The Abrams tank, or at least that map in general, was very good for urban combat, and that's what I really enjoyed about it. However, I don't really enjoy the vehicles as much in Battlefield 4. It just seems like, again, there's just so much that can ruin your day, and with slams and mines being already pretty hard to spot even though you point right at them, it can be a little bit difficult, so I tend to try to play it a little bit safer, in some cases take the attack helicopter and just do my best to try to kill them as quick as possible. Now, of course, Daze, being the TV missile whore that he is, likes to try to line up the shots, and a lot of times he's very successful, which is always impressive by itself. You know, a lot of the times he'll end up hitting an infantry member and running them over and getting considered a roadkill, or in some cases shooting down the transport chopper like in previous episodes that I've displayed that. So I guess with all that said, I guess it's safe to say that I've been having a lot of fun playing with Daze, and it's been a good experience. I mean, of course, I'm always looking to add people to the mix. You know, of course, if you got a good microphone and you're really good at the game by and large, or at least you have some skill level of killing the opposition when they're right in front of you, then of course I like to add people to the mix. It just doesn't seem to be the most consistent thing, because everybody operates on different time zones. You know, like when I'm on, maybe some of you guys are in school. I know a lot of the viewers that I currently occupy probably are in school or work or whatever the case is. You know, it's pretty standard for society to be doing what society needs to do. And of course, being a civilian in those circumstances, you got to kind of obey those rules that are placed down before you. But by and large, I'm always looking to add people to the mix. I think it'd be fun one day to have a 5-man team that's just super hardcore into the Battlefield franchise and always seems to be on and communication's always flowing. And that's definitely something that I look forward to. It's just not currently in the mix at the moment, but you know, of course, one day that will become more of a reality, and from that point, it'll be pretty fun to see how Operation Locker comes into play with all the new weapons coming into the mix, followed by just strategic value being placed before the opposition, and it'll just be interesting to see how that all plays out. Now, of course, with that kind of talked about, yesterday I decided to jump into a game of Operation Locker, considering that's kind of my warm-up map. You know, I like to be able to warm my hands up, kind of get back into the mix, and just kind of warm up the overall room to kind of get into the mood of it. And of course, with that said and done, Operation Locker, in my opinion, is a great way to start leveling up if you're already a low level, or by itself warm up in my particular case, considering that I've been max level for months now, and there's not really a huge purpose to play the game besides just the overall enjoyment factor. So with that said, of course, I decided to jump into a game and play a little bit with the F2000. Now, mind you, I've never used this weapon. I didn't like it in BF3. I know a lot of people really liked it. It was a fan favorite, but I thought it was just kind of a crappy gun, to be completely honest. I mean, there was better guns out there, and I was just somebody using those better guns by itself. However, I jumped into Battlefield 4 to give it a try, and I really enjoyed it. I found it to be very effective. However, it's not a very good long-range gun. Now, of course, mind you, looking at the statistics of it, you would not believe or even understand how bad the gun would be when it comes down to long range. It's just not designed for that. And that's perfectly fine, but I do enjoy it for close range combat. I found that I was just melting people, and it reminded me the old days of Battlefield 3 using the FAMAS, when that thing used to be the overpowered weapon of the month when everybody had their period and was having a good time with it. But by and large, I found the F2000 to be fairly decent. And of course, I don't know how much experience I'll overall get with it. I'm looking to get 5 stars with it just to kind of get my little medal with it and kind of give myself a pat on the back. But by and large, it probably won't be a gun in my arsenal, but at the moment I'm really enjoying it, and I'm really happy I decided to give it a try, especially when it comes down to the engagements that I find myself commonly in. But anyway guys, that's kind of all the information I have for you today. I just kind of wanted to talk about the gameplay a little bit and kind of showcase what I was doing the last couple of days, because I've been having a lot of fun, though it may not seem like it if you were playing with me, but by and large, it has been quite a bit of fun, and I'm really enjoying the overall experience. It's kind of nice to be able to sit back and just kind of do different things that I haven't been doing for the last couple of months. And overall, guys, I hope you enjoyed today's episode. Of course, I'll see you guys tomorrow, and this is NMO, and I'm going to be signing out, guys. Peace.